Welcome back, everyone. This is the Benjinator, and you're watching Let's Play Xenogears, the greatest JRPG on Earth. So last time we found out that Solaris is moving forward with their mission to basically corrupt the people on Earth. Krellian released a virus that turned people into... that started accelerating a process in which people were turning into mutants. And so they started to go to the Soylent System, which, as we all know, is one of the worst places to be, where they're going to get conducted experiments on them. And so our crew, Faye, Ellie, Citan, and et al., are going to try to stop the Soylent System. And we were on our way to doing so, but then we got attacked by a giant Sufal mass. So we're going to see how that battle's going to go in just a second. So just before this battle, I just wanted to show you guys a couple things. I decided on Faye, Ellie, and Citan. Seemed appropriate. There's the spell Radiance, which we didn't really use before. I'll be showing that in later videos. And so all the ones that you're seeing right now for Citan, these are all things for just removing statuses and blocking elemental attacks. It's really nothing that special. I've almost never used those techniques before. And there's a couple of ether things that Faye and Ellie have, or Faye and Citan have, that are not, particularly helpful. Lowering defense and increasing that kind of thing. So Faye's got a lot of death blows to learn, so does Ellie, and so does Citan, but in later videos, you'll actually be able to see all those. After Shivat, what happens is that there's a bunch of new death blows that are released, and these are the elemental ones. Wind, fire, earth, and water, and that kind of thing. Faye has a few extra, though. Faye has like a dark elemental ether attack, and he also has a light elemental ether attack that do a ton of damage, whereas most of the other characters have much less. So now what you're actually seeing right here is that Citan now can use his sword. He was given that sword at the end of the first disc, but now it's actually released. So that's pretty cool. And so it's like a whole new set of techniques that he can now learn, or can now use. So even his old death blows are now they're named differently, and they're swordified, so to speak. So Bright Spark, I don't think I showed this one. That's why I'm showing it off now. Look at that whirly action. Ellie's pretty powerful. She definitely does a lot of damage. So now Festive Wind. This one is pretty fun. This is the Wind Elemental Death Blow that we now have. And all these death blows, as you're going to see, the elemental ones just graphically look so cool like that. Bunch of Japanese and, 1,000 damage. So these Sufals, they're kind of a pain in the butt. They have a lot of HP. Obviously, Citan's thing, as you just saw there, did not kill the Sufal, but it can still be dealt with. And Koho still does a decent amount of damage. In this battle, as I found out, the large Sufal mass actually absorbs most of the elemental attacks, so Festive Wind works absolutely fantastically on the small Sufals, but on the big one, you kind of want to stick to your XX techniques. That should do absolutely fine. You shouldn't have too much of a problem there. But it is, I would say, fairly important to have your double X death blows by this point in the game. The first time I played through, there were so many death blows I didn't have, it was kind of ridiculous. But this time through, I made sure to at least get the XX ones, just because they exude so much power. And if you're wondering, I'm just trying to learn the elemental wind death blows for Faye and Ellie right now, whereas I'm just having Citan use his Festive Wind to take care of these guys. So, fortunately, these Sufals do not come back. That was one thing that I was trying to remember when I was playing through this game the first time. I was like, well, did those Sufals actually ever come back? For some reason, I'm using Hagan. I don't exactly know what was going through my head at the time, but I guess I missed it. I mean, the weird thing about death blows, though, is that the weak ones are still weak. Like, your triangle X death blow is still going to do, like, a pithy amount of damage. So it really is in your best interest to learn as many death blows as possible. Yeah, see, wind doesn't work on this guy. I learned this lesson pretty quickly. And what's annoying, too, is that he does have a one-hit kill attack that basically drains all of your HP, kind of like Murder. And he uses that, he can use that consecutively. which kind of sucks. But at the same time, he doesn't have any attacks, at least I remember, that hit everybody. And so this pattern kind of continues. I'm just skipping ahead right here. And this is the end of the battle, as you can see. Is that basically he just uses that one hit attack the entire time. And then uses Zeta Soul to bring them back. And so, it's fairly easy. It's not difficult. As long as you just remember to pack up on Zeta Souls before the battle, you should be okay. Oh, man. Oh, this scene it's a little bit heartbreaking, that's for sure. Oof. That's one of the mutants. So one of the nice things about the second disc is that you actually now have new cutscenes, because there's a bunch of new space. So just enjoy if you can, or not enjoy, but just watch the scene. It's pretty heartbreaking.
I'm sorry. I guess I couldn't help you after all. All I can do for you now is ease your wounds.
Yeah, she, if you couldn't hear that, said, "Sorry, I can't help you.
Ellie.
All I can do is ease your wounds." Oof. Grisly stuff. So that mutant would have been happier being dead than have to endure the constant pain. Okay, so now it looks like Ellie is taking to the pulpit and trying to tell people that, yeah, this place sucks. It's just gonna... the no-waste plan. Yeah, so basically wells are essentially biomutated weapons that can be used. Yeah, racial purification. I'm telling you, the Skyreich. And now all of a sudden she's Sophia. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, now she's getting philosophical. I don't know. I mean, I applaud Ellie for trying to bring on, like, a sort of existential revolutionary spirit, but asking a bunch of rhetorical questions might not be the best way to do it. A single hand cannot clap. I don't know. If you use both your fingers, you can do it, but I understand what she's saying. Ah. Stay human. Be strong. I don't care how painful it is. Oh, man. Well, that speech took a lot out of her. Ellie, your inspiration. Just don't hurt yourself. Don't have a heart attack. You know, as a result of your speech. Again, viewers, I do apologize if the text is going a little bit fast. In future LPs, I'll make sure to slow it down a little bit. I just, I've gotten so used to reading fast. So, like, I have to try to remember that my reading speed is not everybody else's. But, you know, I'm trying to, you know, fill you in if I'm moving a little too fast. Great story, though. So good. Alright, well. Yeah. Going after all the Soylent Systems. That is awesome. Okay, so Nissan becomes kind of like a medical facility. Yay! Nanomachines used for good. That's a relief. Yeah, some people are just beyond repair, I suppose. Like the guy that Ellie had to kill. Yeah, it's, I mean, this is an interesting part of the game. Just because, you know, for the most part, you're seeing that the world is now being affected in a very real way all the time. Whereas before, it was all just kind of like, you know, geopolitics, and Solaris was ruling over people, but it was doing it kind of indirectly. But now it's pretty obvious that the Skyreich is just being much more directly involved. But at the same time, we're striking back. We're striking back big time. Ah, so Ellie's becoming kind of a savior. Yep, Mother Sophia. Could there be a connection between Ellie and Sophia? Rumored, huh? Well, it looks like some people are catching on to the fact that, you know, they don't just look alike. They could also just be, It could be kindred spirits, not Solaris, Sophia and Ellie. The Ellie that we know. So it looks like things are going better. Destroying the Soylent System, healing people from their mutations. But I'm sure these guys will strike back somehow. Well, I have a feeling that we fell into their trap again. I hope not. Helpful, huh? Yeah, see, exactly. They're just like, it doesn't matter if we're healing them. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to still make them mutants and be attached to the body of God, whatever that is. Gata key. Gaishia. What is that? What is that? Stupid bobbly heads. Oh, that's a keyhole. Oh, but they're getting shot at by little dots. Oh, that's Kane. It looks like Kane doesn't want them to do that. Oh, man. Kane putting his foot down. Well, as we established, like, Kane obviously is not on the side of the Gazel Ministry after that talk with Satan. Yeah. It looks like, Not arise from your own free will. Interesting. That's obviously, like I've been saying, this game is really intriguing because of like kind of conflicting agendas within even the people in Solaris. Like they're not all on the same page. Like a lot of people, like a lot of RPGs, like, you know, the bad guys are for the most part in concert. Sometimes they backstab each other, but they all have different interpretations here. Yeah, the people will not perish. So Kane's kind of basically saying like, hey, like let people do what they will. Let's stop interfering in their shit. And that's probably a sentiment that was helped by Citan too. So Citan, you know, you were shady for a while, but you seem to have you know, your heart in the right place. So meanwhile, we're going after some anima relics. So 10 had been discovered in the past, and now we're gonna be finding more, because we had heard talk about these anima relics before, and now we're gonna be searching for them. Ooh, yay for hints! Ancient ruins and ancient civilizations. That's a nice JRPG cliche, going to ancient ruins and stuff. We haven't done that a whole lot in this game. So yeah, I believe that for this one I had, what was it, Rico, and I think I had Bart with me too. I'm going to be switching off, just because, you know, C10 and Ellie have obviously been used for a very long time, especially when we went through Solaris and the lab and everything and all that good stuff. So now we get some control. We're running around with our little dudes right here. So, how are we doing in terms of death blows? Oh yeah, Rico's way behind. I catch him up later though. And, you know, Bart's kind of just going along doing his thing. He's got some death blows, but not a whole lot. Whee! So we got one sort of Omni gear. And we got Rico's gear is still, the steer is still in its kind of original form. So at this point, I'm able to upgrade the gears, and I kind of skip ahead a little bit. Now they're selling extra AR plus 7s, which are always useful. And one of the things you might notice right there is the A charger. I just kind of went by it. That is something that actually restores fuel when you hit charge, like a little more than usual. So if you equip that one, it's like 50 fuel, but don't worry about the A chargers. You'll be getting something a lot better later. A Z charger, which restores 500. And I also bought up-to-date equipment, the black leather and the black helmets for Faye, Citan, and Bart, and I believe that I actually... he's up to date there, but yeah, extra AR plus 7. Still have the frame HP 30 and 50 for Rico, respectively. But for this dungeon, you don't actually have to worry too much about what is it, gears, because this is actually going to be an on-foot dungeon. One of the we've seen a lot of those lately, so it's still going to be a little while before we go to gear dungeons. All right, so that is the end of this particular segment. We're going to be heading into the Anima Relic Dungeon, which is actually kind of a fun place, in the next episode. So, thank you guys for watching. This is the Benchinator with Let's Play Xenogears, and I will see you guys next time.